people is really going through the same thing. They're probably just not as open to share it because, like I said, social media is fake. Like, we think we need to be this certain way when whole time, like, not everyone is going through all the highs. Like, we're going through a lot of lows, especially in today's time where life is so hard. Like, diapers ain't even the price of diaper, milk ain't even the price of milk.
Welcome to another episode of Tread Truths. Today I have three lovely ladies with me. They're filled with ambition, knowledge, education. They all have different passions. I feel like this episode today is just going to be about the modern dynamics of genders and roles. Of course, we're going to dive into a deep roundtable conversation where we all bounce off each other and get to know each other little by our responses, and of course, address certain things that need to be talked about. I'm going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves one by one, and then we're going to hop into the conversation.
What's up, everyone? My name is Nikaylah Janae. I am a content creator and influencer. You can find me on all platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And I just recently graduated from the University of Tampa with my bachelor's in advertising and public relations. So we'll be jumping into the field soon.
That shit.
Good. My name is Keyona. I'm a lash tech in Orlando, Florida. So I know some of y'all probably watching this that's in Orlando. Y'all make sure y'all book with me. I'm professional. I don't do the whole canceling the same day thing. You know, we're not gonna get into that. But anyways, I'm a lash tech in Orlando. I also have my perfume line that I had these lovely ladies smell. And thank you. You can guys go buy that at kimanje.cosmetics.com. That's pretty much it. I mean, I did graduate from UCF Go Knights with my bachelor's in psychology. I have not put it to use yet, but I got other plans.
Hi, my name is Ruthy. I am a part-time promoter. I do brunches here and there. Currently, we're at Parlay once a month. I live in Orlando, Florida. I'm an influencer, create content. And then I'm an enrollment advisor for a nursing school. So yeah, that's pretty much about me.
All right. And that's just a good introduction from them. So before we even get started, like all you guys said, you pretty much have your own business, or you guys do follow your own passion and your own dreams in a type of way where you benefit and make money from it. So the first question I want to ask y'all, do you think being an independent woman makes it a little bit harder for men to gravitate towards you or men to approach you in a certain way? Do you feel like they are imitated whenever they speak to you or whenever your name is brought up?
Yes. Short answer, yes. Because I think men nowadays, and I don't know why it's looked upon as competition, but as being an independent woman, I realize a lot in my dating scene is that because I'm so driven and because I don't per se need a man, I think to them it results in them lacking and still being a man because it's like a you got it kind of thing. When in reality, I might have it, but I still would want you to help. You get what I'm saying? So I really feel like when it comes down to it, it's sometimes like me and Ruthy was talking in the car, when you are doing such, and I don't want my light to be dim. And sometimes men, like, they try to dim your light because it's like, for them, it's like, oh, I'm the man and I want to, have all this going on and I don't want my lady to do something. That's how it was back in the days. And I feel like nowadays it's a little different. And now because women, we have so much opportunities and we have so many resources now. Like, I mean, women, we're dominating a lot. Like, and we can't lie about that. So I feel like they do get intimidated and I personally don't like it. And I can go on that one, but I don't like it though.
Yeah, I don't either. I think it's weird. And I think that people don't know how to take it.
Yeah,
They don't know how to take it. Like, and me personally, I feel like I'm humble. I could be a lot more, especially with a man. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't like to step on toes. Some things I avoid saying for certain reasons, but also I just feel like, yeah, like they don't know how to take it. They don't know how to deal with it. But that's a personal problem, though. I feel like that comes from lack of personal development, though. It's a mindset thing. If you're with somebody, it's a partnership. Why are you worried about what this person got? You need to worry about how I can catch up and how we can take it on together. Like, why are you worried about this person got more than me? I just think that's lame as hell. That's lame.
I think for me, it's a little bit more challenging because I am in the promotion world where it is so mainly male dominant. And I think, being in the club or getting paid to host and being in sections, I'm surrounded by a lot of guys and men. But I am in a relationship. So I think me and my boyfriend have a good understanding of, at the end of the day, everything I'm doing is kind of to contribute towards our future. And I'm more extroverted. So it kind of fit me. Like what I do fits my personality, like work in the room, meeting new people, building new connections. And I think a lot of men, I've talked to a lot of guys where it was like, oh, if you was my girl, you wouldn't be, but it's like, I'm not. And if I was your girl, the only thing that should be in your brain is how can I build my girl a venue from the ground up so she could have her own thing instead of going through different guys and asking to use their venue or having to split anything. So it's very intimidating. And coming home late, and we don't live together, but I think just coming home texting like, "Hey, I just got home at 2 in the morning." But the money goes to a good place, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And to piggyback off of what you were saying, I feel like men associate power with money. And I think it's an ego thing for them. So I think when you are a woman making your own money, to a sense to them, they really can't control you. So I feel like part of that has a lot to do with it as well. When it's like when you have your own thing going on and you don't really need him, it's like in a sense in his head, I can't control you. I can't tell you what to do because
Facts.
you don't need me. You get what I'm saying? So I think
But coming from a male's perspective, and this is not my opinion, this is just me bouncing off of what you guys are saying. Do you think that is generated from men thinking that they have to be an alpha in every category? A lot of men like to, of course, be dominant. I think that's a trait that all men feel like they should have whenever they're speaking or just in general with their life. But certain men feel as if when it comes to women being entrepreneurs, they feel like as if they're doing too much work when they're really not supposed to. I don't agree with it, but just coming from a male perspective, I think it's like a double standard in a sense. So men would rather their woman or their partner relax and do more, daily things versus them actually go out and pursue their dreams because their dreams can take time away from them. But if it was reversed, if a man goes out and chases his dream, then it's like the girl is like, okay, now you starting to, go heavy in this. I'm gonna support you.
I see that. That's tricky. I see that. But that's why I feel like while you're young, you either be with someone who understands you fully, understands your path, understands where you're going and what you are pursuing, and make sure that they love you for the current and where you are now in and out. Because if not, then that happens. They don't want you to be doing all of the things. But me personally, I'm not sitting my life to the side to make I'm not doing it. I'm pursuing what I want to do.
I think I look at it a little different as well because I think we're also in a society where we have a lot of these songs like, by city girls or, these big women artists where we kind of put so much pressure on men to have it all figured out. So when a man finally run into a woman that do have it all figured out, it kind of does mess with their self-esteem. But I think if we're being quite transparent and honest, like not every man have it all together. Like some men don't even know what a credit card is. And it starts in the home. If their mama ain't even teaching them that or their daddy not even teaching them that, when they meet a girl who have it all put together, it messes with their ego when the main thing is you just don't know. So I get your question, but I think it's also like a lot of men just need a little bit more guidance so they don't feel so intimidated when they're meeting someone. Because a woman could teach you too. And I think men aren't taughtable. Like they're not teachable. Like you have to be a teachable man to be with a woman who has it together. Because just as we can learn from a man needs to be able to learn from his woman. Like it's a partnership at the end of the day.
I agree with that, as well as I really feel like when it comes down to a man and what you had said, I feel like a lot of men, when you are with a female and we're looked at like the society looked at them to be the more alpha one. So it's like, but I'm just being real. It's like if I'm getting it, get it. Like it's like I don't understand. I think, and honestly speaking, this is my personal opinion. The generation of men nowadays, it seems to be lacking off in a lot of areas, like just with being lazy. And I think it stems from, of course, like you said, the parent. Back in the day, men were little stuff like, I have a little cousin and we were in Kobe's the other day. And back then, guys, dads were teaching their sons, hold the door open for women. Hey, do this, do that. Open the door when you get in the car. that's not taught anymore.
Anymore.
So I
Now
feel
that's
like,
lame.
yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, for you to think that, that's lame.
Yeah, it's lame. And
That's
so that's why I feel like a lot of it has to do with just, I think it's just a lot of lacking areas. And granted, I'm not a big believer in your past defining who you are as an adult. I feel like you probably were raised a certain way, but I feel like your future, you can change it. You can come from, I'm pretty sure a lot of us here didn't come from the best background, but it's all in like what you want to do in the future.
Mhm.
So I just feel like I think it's all on the man too, because I think if you truly want to be a man, if you truly see like this whole, I guess, white pigment's wife, kids, married, happy ever after ending, then there's certain things personally that you have to develop. And it starts with realizing, okay, if I don't want my woman,
X, Y, and Z, I need to pick up X, Y,
I need to
Z.
pick up because
Yeah.
I was talking to men and it's just like, yeah, I'm doing all of this and you ain't really doing it. You don't got no job. You not doing. So it's like, how are you mad? Because I'm out here getting it and you not. And so now I think it's a thing like that. I think just like how we get up and we get out here and do it, I think you should do the same. And if you're dealing with, and I feel like we all should just be transparent by who we talk to. Like, I feel like if you realize that you are with someone or you're trying to get with someone and like maybe you feel like, hey, you're not really in the direction I think that I'm trying to go in, or maybe I'm not where I want to be with you. I think men need to start but being transparent within their self first. Like if you're not where you would want to be, or at least trying to work on and stuff like that, then I just genuinely feel like just that's where you need to take the time to self-reflect and develop yourself and leave relationships alone.
And that's exactly what I was saying. Like personal development, emotional intelligence. Like you got to go back to the drawing board and you got to do the work within yourself, and then you can move and groove and do your thing. But if you ain't got you together, you can't really.
Well, I mean that all stems off from, of course, society. Is especially what I harp on the most is that people value celebrities and people that are famous. They value their life, but they don't look at the preparation behind it. So a lot of people will see other people successful, and they treat women and treat girls treat men in a certain way, and they feel as if, okay, if my idol or somebody that I listen to on a daily, they're doing this, I can do it too. The only thing I don't have from them or have similar to them is money. I don't have the success, but I come from the same background. We're probably from the same location. If they doing it, it's cool with me as well too. But to piggyback off what y'all said, just me being a man and experiencing what I went through, and me knowing that I'm vulnerable now to say that when I was going through depression, I was still talking to women. I didn't separate myself from that, mainly because I knew in my head, okay, I got this shit going on. I can still work it out while trying to love somebody, and hopefully they can accept me for who I am. That's how a lot of us men think. However,
What?
that's what I say. However, some men don't have the aspect of communication. That is one of the skills that's lacking in my specific gender role. A lot of men don't think they should communicate because they think the way they feel is basically shown through their actions, and that's not accurate. Because a woman can't read your mind, a man can't read your mind, your mama can't read your mind, your daddy can't read your mind, whoever's in your life, they can't read your mind. None of us are function like that.
Right.
And sometimes we can learn through our actions, but people don't want to go through that hard work when you can just say how you feeling.
Exactly.
But my next question would be, how do you think we can better support each other as men and women? Like, how could a man basically communicate to you guys? Like, for instance, you guys are all successful, entrepreneurs. You guys have your own lane. How would you want it could be a partner, it could be friends. How would you want them to communicate with you guys, especially when they're going through something and they're still trying to be connected to you guys?
I feel like it's okay if you and that person are cool and you know that person truly has your best interest at heart. You should be able to open up and say, "Hey, right now, I ain't got it. I ain't feeling it. I wake up every day. I ain't feeling it." You know what I'm saying? And then you give that other person the space to say, "You know what? I got you." You know what I'm saying? And you have to leave room and space. But if you don't say anything, how do people know? They just be like, "You ain't doing shit. You ain't got nothing going on. You aggravate and you always," you know what I'm saying? You smoke all day. You just sit around all night. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta give people the space to show up for you. And then once you give people the space to show up for you, then you can even communicate with them and tell them, "I'm not my best right now." You give them the room to say, "Oh, I don't want to deal with that right now. Like that ain't in my pay grade." But like other than that, for the most part, if you keep it a stat, people can't do nothing but respect that.
One word answer: transparency. Like honestly, transparency. I think it's an ego thing behind men. I think if just be honest, just be transparent, be upfront with what it is. That way, we could decide how we're going to move forward. That's all I gotta say about that.
I feel like repeat the question one more time.
How can we better support each other? As far as in the aspect, say if like I know you're already in a relationship. If you had a friend or a homeboy where you guys were connected before, and let's just say randomly, like it's the connection starts to fall apart. Maybe they have something going on, but they're not telling you, but you notice it, and you like, damn, like okay, like you falling off. I don't want to be stuck with you while you falling off, but whole time they got something going on. But how can they, how can you? How do you think you can support them? And how can they support you by like communicating or
And we're speaking in terms of relationship or both friendship
both?
and.
Because I know you're in a relationship, so like I don't know. Of course,
I mean, even if I'm in a relationship, I've been through that prior because this is my first relationship. I'm 25.
mm-hmm.
So guys I've dealt with in the past, they never were, not to sound cocky or anything, but guys I dealt with in the past were never at the same level at me. I was always like very goal driven and hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with other guys, like I've helped guys bank with better banks. Like I bank with Navy Federal. Like I've helped a guy get into that bank just to help him set up, savings. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've helped people create their high yield savings account. So, but I think for me, one thing about men too, sometimes when you have someone that's trying to help you, I think men look at it as like you're smothering them or you're coming off as a mother and they don't know how to treat you right. And then they always come back. But now that I'm in a relationship, it was more easier because I started when I met him, he had a degree in everything, but he did go through a period of time where it's like, okay, I have to like start over. And I think just being there, like you said, like if you ain't got it, be transparent. Like it's gonna be sometimes where us as women have to pick up the slack a little bit more. And you have to be a woman that's okay with that. I think it's also a woman thing too. Don't be too in your head where you feel like a man need to be doing X, Y, and Z, when in reality, there's going to be some days where someone could only show up 20%. And like you said, you've gone through a depression. I can't expect you to give me 100%. You can't even give yourself 100%. So I think women also need to learn to be very open-minded and understand like everything isn't going to be always in 100%. Because I could wake up and I'm at a 20%, and my boyfriend needs to come 80%.
Facts.
So yeah.
And I just feel like you said, it's just all about women just coming in reality. Like I agree with what you said 100%. I think with a lot of the celebrities and the songs and the social media, it's if you're not doing X, Y, and Z, paying my bills and all this other stuff. And it's like, in reality, if we're talking about like longevity wise and getting married, which a lot of, as women would love, it's a partnership. And it's not you take care of me and that's it. You both say your vows to each other. So I just feel like, I think that's kind of what is like a problem nowadays too, where it's just like women aren't being real with themselves. Like you say, you can't expect nothing from someone who's not even at 100% from yourself. That's really honestly selfish. Like, to be honest.
And yeah, you like that. You got to be realistic. It goes both ways. Like you said, I be saying that all the time. Like if I sometimes I wake up, I ain't got nothing to give. That's just my energy low. I ain't got it.
Literally.
But you just gotta know, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I feel like I said earlier, your person gotta know who you are.
You
Like,
have to be in tune.
and you gotta love that person for where they are. You know what I'm trying to say? And once you do that, and you be realistic, you got it. But you gotta be realistic on all sides of the board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, it comes a long way. It's sad to say that I really think being realistic is just so real in today's society. A lot of people live in a facade. A lot of people live, and it's not wrong, and it's bad at the same time too. But a lot of people lives in hopes and dreams. It's not nothing wrong with chasing your dreams, but a lot of people want dreams that they're not willing to chase. So just going back off the conversation we just had, do you guys feel like you have to adjust to somebody that, or basically compromise yourself so much that you're not overshining people? So like for instance, I know you guys said something about that earlier, dimming your light. I said that in my last episode. My biggest thing that I hate is when I walk into a room and I have to dim my light in order to fit around people that I probably shouldn't be around.
Right.
I hate that.
I feel as if us, whenever we, like for instance, we're all individuals, we all can sit here and talk and communicate. It's a lot of people that can't do what we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, how, or matter of fact, not even how, why do you dim your light whenever you do it? So whenever you do go to certain places or talk to certain people, why do you decide to dim your light? Why are you willing to compromise either for It could be partner, it could be relationships, or it could just be an aspect of just having friends. Why do you dim your light for people? Because we all do it.
Honestly speaking, I feel like back then I used to do it a lot. The older I get, I realize, like me and Ruthy was talking in the car because we had a long conversation on the way here. Back then I used to dim my light because it wasn't more so, I don't think it was a compromise. I think for me it was, I've always been super confident. Like, I was raised by a Black woman. She always instilled in me that you heard. So for me, I used to dim my light because I didn't want to come off as I'm all of that. I didn't want to make other people feel uncomfortable. That's why I used to do it. But honestly speaking, the older I get, the more people I talk to, I realize I don't even surround myself around people that I have to dim, because I think for me, I want to be around like-minded individuals, whether you are a guy or a woman, to the point where we both help stimulate each other. So I feel like I don't now necessarily now in today's, like now, I don't dim my light. But back then it was just more so of I didn't want to come off arrogant, or that, you know how back then she thinks she all that. I didn't want to come
You don't
off
want to
as
come out
that.
too strong.
Yeah, but it's like now it's just like, you must think I'm all that too, if you're thinking that. So that's why I don't do it anymore.
I don't believe in dimming my light, period. Like, I know you said we all do it, but I don't. I think your first impression of people is what you show them.
Absolutely.
If I want to always be memorable, I shouldn't dim my light for anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you like my personality, you like how I come off, that to be honest, that's really what's brought me so far. Like, for you guys, y'all finished school, y'all got your degree. The career I'm working in, I'm working with 40-year-olds, 30-year-olds. They have degrees, and I don't have a degree. I didn't finish school. I'm the oldest out of four. And in the time where I was in college, I had to take a break from that, going through things personally. But always having a good personality and always showing up and presenting myself how I want to be taken. Hopefully the words are coming out right. That's low-key what's got me so far, like building that connection. Like, how can I build an honest, true connection or networking if I'm always dimming it? You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. I don't think I should dim my light just because I'm fully aware and I'm comfortable with who I am for anyone. If my light's bothering you, that's something that's going on in your spirit. But ever since a little girl, like, every time I walked in the room, I've always dominated. Like, I've lost friends, like, you too friendly, but look at me now doing these brunches. Like, that's the only way my brunch has been so successful, is just showing up as who I am. Just, it's people that know me off Instagram, and they would come to the brunch just to meet me, just because how I am on Instagram. So I don't believe in dimming my light. Like, whoever likes it. And if you don't, I'm just not your cup of tea, and that's okay. We're not everyone's cup of tea. Like, I'm okay with that.
So what would you recommend people going forward? Like, people that, compromise for other people. What would you recommend to them? Like, what is some advice? Because some people do it because, for instance, we all outgrow places and outgrow people. A lot of people like to carry on extra baggage because of that time attachment or that emotional attachment, and they have probably friends, relationships, or whatever, the family even too. They like to bring them along when they're growing. How do you separate yourself from what's not for you and what's for you? Like, what's some advice you would have to people?
I think sometimes, like you said, when you're growing, things sometimes fall apart. Like, sometimes we have two different visions. It depends on the situation. If your vision isn't really, like, okay, like a conversation we had in the car, like, some women are more male centered, like, attention. Like, they want men attention. Mm-hmm. For me, I feel like when I walk in a room, I'm that. I don't need, if a man looking, he's looking. If he's not, it is what it is. But I think that something like that would make me want to, like, go away or shy away from someone, because you're not really confident in yourself unless someone's giving you that type of lust. And I think another thing that kills our society so much is lust. But it's really hard to give advice regarding that, because everyone around me, I want them to feel like they're the main character. I don't know why. Like, I want everyone around me to feel like the main character. I have two twin little sisters, and they just finished high school, and they kind of, not just finished high school, but about last year they graduated high school. But they're going through a time where everything is so much more on social media. Like, you have TikTok, you have, like, how women are posting themselves. Nowadays, these 18, 19-year-olds looking like 25. And it's like, what about the girls that look like 18, 19-year-olds? So I just believe in, like, I would rather mess with someone who admit they like anime over someone who's just like, oh, I like designer, I'm this, I'm that. Like, be yourself, be true to yourself. Like, that's the most I can really say.
And that's exactly what I was about to say. I just always always knew that you need to stay true to yourself. Like no matter what room you go in, no matter who you're around, no matter, that's just like my life theme. Like
Right.
Yeah.
I went to a PWI. I didn't go to no HBCU, and I'm black, and my school is 99, probably 99.9% black. I mean white, and it don't matter. Like I'm still me. Like, but the only way that you do that is that you love yourself. One, two, you gotta want to be happy, because trying to fit, move, and make this person feel comfortable, you're never gonna be happy. That's aggravating. I've done it before,
Right.
in a relationship, of course,
Mhm.
but like that's aggravating.
It is.
You never gonna be happy. So if you want to be happy, you're gonna be like, fuck how they feel. This is me. This is what I'm doing, and yeah, and I feel like that's how I'm able to show up on social media every single day, because I'm staying true to myself. This is what I do. I love me, and fuck it, what everybody else got to say.
Yeah.
Like, to get the advice part, I honestly would say I don't think it's any advice to give, simply because I think it all ties into self-development and personal development. And I think a lot of people grew up with, narcissistic moms, parents, like verbal abuse that probably did make them a little bit less confident. And so I think you just have to really internally do the work in order for you to realize that you don't have to dim your light. Because a lot of people are self-conscious. A lot of people really don't know themselves. And I think the biggest thing is to figure yourself out first. That way, when you know yourself, it's nothing nobody can tell you.
Exactly.
And so I think that's the advice. Like, figure out yourself. I'm big on, sometimes I always tell people, you have to go through an alone season, because sometimes you don't know yourself. Sometimes when you're dealing and you're pouring all these different cups, sometimes it's so draining to the point where you start to lose who you are. And so I'm big on, like, after every relationship I get out of, or talking, dating, whatever the case may be, I'm big on having me a few months to myself where I just reevaluate the situation. I slow down, girl. Reevaluate myself, because
I feel you. Slow down. Go ahead.
I told you I'd be stuttering. But you have to reevaluate yourself, because, like, I think when it comes down to knowing who you are, you realize, like, I'm not who I was back then. So now this is me, and I'm confident. I'm standing on that.
And that's what life is about. Life is just about evolving, doing all of the things, and yeah.
So basically, just going based off all your responses, it's something that you either have or you don't.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. Like, if it's in you, it's in you. If it's not, it's not. Yeah.
And I feel like everybody can, but again, you have to self-reflect and develop yourself first.
I mean,
And
I think
that's easier said than done, though.
yeah, I was gonna say I think a lot of it comes from social media, especially with somebody like myself. I feel as if just me, like I got to speak for the men. I'm gonna speak for us too as well. A lot of men, I think it's a difference between confidence and cocky. A lot of men are cocky, but they don't have the appropriate confidence. They have a lot of men have low self-esteem. So like how y'all say y'all walk in the room, y'all know y'all that. A lot of men will tell themselves that, and then they'll look in the mirror and know that they're not that.
Right.
I feel as if with myself, I was a promoter. I was in the nightlife, and I had different things, and I was pretty known for myself. It was a lot of times I tell myself I'm that, but at the same time, it's like, damn, like I ain't 100%. You feel me? And I feel like just in the men aspect, I feel like that came from me looking on social media. And I feel like today's society is social media driven. That could be with relationships, it could be with dreams, goals. A lot of people just go on their phones, and then that's how they find out what they want to do with their life.
Yeah.
So my question to y'all is, how do y'all steer yourself from being social media driven and being more purpose driven? Because we all on our phones. We all
Right.
like, you feel me? Like, we get on the ground, we pop our shit, and then we get off. But how do you steer yourself from falling in the direction? Because once you fall into that social media direction, it can affect your relationships with your family, your partner, your friends. And a lot of people, like I said before, they see other people successful, and they're like, damn, you know, buddy got on all this ice, a homegirl, she got all these niggas in the comments, or she having a way, he having a way, and they be like, all right, I'm gonna do exactly what she doing. How do y'all steer yourself from being social media driven?
For me, it's a little bit different, because what I do is social media driven, but I think I always go back to why why I'm doing what I'm doing, you know. And
Mhm.
at the end of the day, like for me, social media content creation, influencing isn't the end goal. Like that's just to get me to ultimately where I want to be. You know what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say? But like, you know, you got to go back to where you started, why you started, and why you're doing what you're doing.
Mhm.
And I feel like if you have a reason, you never gonna lose that flow. You might hop in and out, but like you never gonna lose your flow because you're gonna remember why I started, why I'm doing what I'm doing, and
Your purpose.
my purpose. Yeah.
For sure.
I think for me, it's a mentality thing. I've trained myself to use, like, when I'm on social media scrolling and you see all these things, I think for me it's a motivation thing. I think it's the way you look at it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Social media is how you use it. And for me, when I'm getting on and let's say I see somebody and it's like, dang, like she got the car I want or whatever, it's like, you know what, like, girl, you need to get off here and you need to go post and get some more people. So it's
Mhm.
really a mentality thing for me. I think I feel like social media has a bad connotation on it, which I feel like it's all in how you use it and what you bring, like, get out of it.
I feel like social media is fake. I think people fail to realize that. Like,
Mhm.
I could take a picture of me walking down somewhere in Miami and say I'm in Aruba,
Facts.
and y'all will eat it up,
Yep.
not even knowing. Like, I'm just 4 hours away.
Yep.
So I think people need to understand and come with the realization that social media is fake. I think even for me personally, like, I don't post my personal, and y'all, well, you know me for years. I've been posting, like,
Mhm.
I'm very transparent, but I've learned to keep like my personal, but I don't ever want to come off in a way where people think I'm that and not. Like, even when I was going through a period when I had like lost my job and I had to switch job. I was out of job for a month and I posted about that. And it was like, people was posting like, I'm going through the same thing. Like, I went through HR harassment. So it's like, when you're honest and when you're open, you don't know who else needed to hear that. Like,
Mhm.
right now I have PCOS and I've been on GLP-1 medications. And I didn't post about it. I've been on it for 3 months and I didn't post about it. I just posted about it last week. And like the amount, I think I didn't want to post about it because I didn't want to be judged in a sense. But the amount of messages I received of women like, I'm going through the same thing, like, you know, the excessive hair growth, like, I don't know what to do, like, or I'm going through infertility, like, it's hard. So it's like, when you realize like people is really going through the same thing, they're probably just not as open to share it because, like I said, social media is fake. Like, we think we need to be this certain way when whole time, like, not everyone is going through all the highs. Like, we're going through a lot of lows, especially in today's time where life is so hard. Like, diapers ain't even the price of diaper, milk ain't even the price of milk. So it's like, you know, we have to be very transparent. So I just remind myself, like, social media is fake. Like,
Yeah,
it's just fake.
and I want to sit here and give you your flowers for doing that because stuff like that, it makes my heart warm because in order for me to get here to where I'm at, I had to be vulnerable. Like people
Yeah.
like, for instance, like when I did my first episode and I talked about my depression, you know what happened? My family called me like when you was going through this. I'm like, when I was living with y'all.
Yeah.
So I said like me opening up and a lot of people hit me up reaching out and they just like, bro, like I ain't never know you was going through this. Like you hit it so well for all these years and like I've been going through this. I don't know how to do it, but can you help me?
Right.
Like I think people don't understand that vulnerability opens up doors that you don't even think were possible to be open. You think like people think that because they're going through something, they're the only ones going through it. And it's not true.
It's not. And I think also with going through something health wise, and then you still have to go to the club and show up and pour up. And it's like, whole time, I do not want to be here.
Mhm.
But because you have to show up in your craft and, you know, like we all keep saying, like, making a name for ourselves, being these strong women, like, there's a lot of stuff that women go through that's not being talked about enough. So being open and like me posting the video of me giving myself a shot in my stomach every week, like, that was a video I had sitting in my phone for weeks and no one knew. Like, I edited and everything, but I didn't want to share it because it's just like, this is a bit too, like, I don't have no bra on. I'm taking my shot in the stomach. But I think what made me so much more confident and just gave me that big, like, was like just the amount of DM I read from like other women as well. So, yeah.
So just going based off what you said and I seen your reaction, what do y'all think is something that needs to be talked about? Because this platform is what it's for. You feel me? And I'm an advocate for the men as well, but I do love when y'all speak out because I learned something from y'all. So what is at least probably I'll say go two things that y'all feel like as women should be heard. It can be from other women need to hear it and men need to hear it as well. What is two things that y'all
And just like we all said we're confident, we don't dim our light, we do all of the things, but like it's okay to check on somebody and be like, "Is you good? I'm proud of you doing your thing." Like it's nothing wrong with that. I think we should normalize, giving people sometimes, like we said, we need more than what we portray. Being strong, being independent is fun, it's cool, but sometimes I just want to be. Like,
be a baby.
we should normalize that. Exactly. Like, sometimes I just want to be. I show up every day in the world. I don't want to, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I feel like everybody should normalize that.
Mm-hmm.
I think something that women go through that should be talked about is the whole body shaming thing. Reason being is because I think society has put like this whole big connotation on the whole BBL thing. And it's like it makes women feel like normal bodies are like that's what it used to be back in the day. There was no humongous booty and all of this like super flat abs, stomach, like especially coming from like a black household, like we're naturally curvy. Like black women, we're naturally curvy. And so I feel like that's something that I just really think that us women go through that a lot of people don't realize. Like it's real. And I feel like we should everybody, because honestly speaking, if everybody looked the same, then you all look the same. Like we should appreciate the petite. We should appreciate the plus. We should appreciate the athletic, the, sloppy, whatever you want to call it. Like we should appreciate each. And I think that's something that women go through that nobody knows. It's the pressure on your appearance physically. Like it's always having to look this certain way or, be this certain, like have this certain body to, be, I guess, considered in or like popping or popular. So that's
And if
something.
you're doing that, like if you're in the gym working on your body, getting your body done, if you're doing that, make sure you're doing it strictly because that's something that I want to do. Like I'm in the gym, I want to lose a couple pounds. I want to stay under a certain weight before, I enter my older years where my metabolism is not as faster. But make sure you're doing that for yourself, not to fit in or, get society's approval. Make sure you're doing it for you.
Yeah, because
I think it's okay to work on yourself, but only if it's for you.
Right, yeah, of course. And it's like me being on TikTok, I'm starting to see like now where it's a lot of trending videos like, oh, petite coming back in or whatever the case may be. And I love it because it's really showing like, the women who do have a hard time with gaining weight or feeling like their body isn't the best because you don't have the figure that everybody deem as fine. You know what I'm saying? I think I love it because it's really showing like, women, our bodies are like, I always say like, wow, like to be a woman, it do a lot of stuff I don't even know what to do. So it's just like, I love that. I love to see like it's starting to come back in where it's like, look, like petite is a thing,
Is that a preference? Is that a form of preference? Is it body shaming someone negatively speaking on something? Because I think it goes hand in hand. Like certain women, for instance, I remember when I was coming up, like when I was in high school and shit, women be like, "Oh, I only fuck with athletes." Like I want a man, he got to be strong, he got to lift this much, he got to do this and that. Would that be body shaming in a man's perspective? So like for me, I ain't got no fucking abs. Like I went to the gym, I lost the weight I wanted to.
Right.
You feel me? I did it for me, but I'm not looking to have the biggest fucking. I don't want no six pack. I don't want none of that shit. But certain women would look at me and be like, okay, like he ain't that strong. Whole time I'll probably slam a motherfucker on their neck, but they look at me and be like, he ain't got no abs. Is that body shaming as a man? Because I get where you're coming from. Some men are like, they get disrespectful and they be like, oh, or they look at the whole, that's it, the social media shit, it takes it to another level. This BBL shit,
yeah,
I don't give a fuck about it because if anybody can have it, I don't want it.
Exactly.
But what is body shaming? Because a lot of men will say, quote unquote, it's their their preference, but how do you separate the two?
It's how you go about it. That's how you separate the two. It's how you go about it. That's it. So it's black and white. If you have a preference, you don't have to say, oh, I don't like skinny girls or I don't like fat girls because they turn me off. You just go at your preference. You don't have to make it a whole announcement and make it a thing.
It's the communication.
It's the communication. It's how you say it.
I can't really.
You're allowed to like what you like.
Yeah.
I'm a bigger girl, so we could just be very honest. Like I've been a bigger girl like majority of my life, I would say. I pull the same guys that a BBL or a bony girl will pull. I think it's more so I've dealt with guys where I think guys, they would like bigger girls, but that's the same for Haitians. Like back in the day, if you said you Haitians, you eat cat, you eat dog, da da da. Now everybody and their mama is so ZZZZ. But that's the same as a big girl. Y'all would want to deal with a big girl. Y'all preference probably is a bigger girl. But because if you popped out with a bigger girl, your homeboys is gonna make fun of you, or someone on social media is gonna make fun of you. So for me, I think it's also like people be good for your soul, but sometimes it's just not good for your image. And I think that's how a lot of people move. Cause like I always say, like Tyus was my first boyfriend, but I've dealt with guys in the past. And it's like, I've probably dealt with guys that I would see girls talk about on social media. Y'all just didn't know I was dealing with them because it probably wasn't on a relationship level where, oh, I was someone that they would pop. Now it's like, okay, I am who I am now. Everybody, da da da. But back in the day, it's like they wouldn't want to pop out with a bigger girl. And it's sad to say, like that would cause I wouldn't say that's body shaming, but I would say it's a mind fuck thing. Because it's like, I know I'm a pretty girl, like, you know what I'm saying? Because for me, it's like, I always been a pretty girl, a big girl. Like, I don't even like that you could dress for a big girl thing. I always could dress. Like, I love perfume. Like, I grew up with parents who made me feel like I'm that girl. It wasn't until I started dealing with people in the public where it was like, or dealing with guys, and it was like, okay, y'all love my personality. Y'all love how I'm so caring. I'm this, I could dress, my personality, all this, but it's like, I'm still not at that criteria enough for you to pop out with.
Mm-hmm. But I'm piggyback off of that now because I have my own little stints in it. I have a little shade. I'm on Instagram. I got a lot of followers, all of the things. People don't want to wife a quote unquote what society would say is a baddie. Or like be in a relationship with a baddie. You know why? It's ego. But those are the people that you don't want to be with. Like just how she said, like, oh, I'm good enough to talk to, be cool with, kick it with, you like me, but you're not gonna pop out with me. I feel like that's ego, and those are people that we don't be with. Mm-hmm. We go away from those people.
I mean, I agree with you, but coming from a male perspective, like for me, like I'm the type, and I can say this proud, like I'm the type of dude, like if somebody got a lot of followers, like I don't even mind following them. Like if the connection happen, it happens. But I do it because like it depends on if they're entrepreneur, that's different. But like if they just, hey, if I don't see like no business and nothing behind, I'm not following you because it's just like you already getting enough attention. I don't want to seem like I'm just this other person that's following you, and like I don't give a fuck if motherfucker follow me back or follow me not. But like I'm just saying, like, I don't want to look like just another. Yeah, I don't look like no fan.
That's ego. That's ego.
Like
it's a pride thing.
Yes, because like this, but us all followers, all Instagram, all outfit, makeup, shape, whatever you got aside, you're still a person though.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's up to you to decide if you want to get to know that person or see that person beyond everything else. Because that's how I feel. Like I feel like people box me in, but I'm still a real person though.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I said like it kind of like with me, it varies. So like sometimes I'd be like, man, damn, maybe like I'm in a season where I'm alone, but like before I'd be like, damn, man, chick got 30,000 followers. She don't do shit. Why she got these followers? I ain't finna follow her ass. I don't want to find out. But like, I think what a lot of us men is just we look at certain things and we just be like, either like I said, it's a pride thing. I'm a very prideful person in some aspects, but a lot of us men will look at something and we'll try to save ourselves the trouble instead of getting into it. Like I think with a lot of us, especially with today's society, I mean, I hope y'all could agree that we got like I said, like artists and stuff like that. Artists like, for instance, I'm gonna say shit, Mulatto or Lotto, whatever name is Lotto, Sexy Red, like all these people that are influencing some women. I don't want to say majority because some other women have that mindset. Where like, okay, I ain't got to be like them or I don't have to follow that trend. But that's another thing. Like men look at that and be like, damn, like.
I think men have a real problem. You know, it's okay to deal with like a regular girl. Like I think people say that, but I don't see that. Like for example, for me, my dude get less than 100 likes, like 100 likes or less.
I love him.
I know he's a fly. Yeah, but it's like he works for State Farm, one of the biggest insurance companies out here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and he can dress, and he has, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, why would I compare him to someone, oh, a nigga having Cubans on and big chains and this, that, and he got foreign cars whole time, they're rentals. Like, you don't even own a license. So I think men need to learn to also, it's okay to go with a regular girl. Like, you don't always need to have that boss ass bitch or like, excuse my French, or like that 20K, 10K. Like, it's okay to go with a girl who's just to herself. Like, I think people need to learn to adjust their preference maybe, because if y'all keep shooting at these girls that's on this level, that's why y'all keep feeling like, oh, I'm not even going to follow you, because it's like, duh, like, yeah, she's not going to want to talk to you because she probably already got 20 other men lusting over her compared to someone who's just really looking for something sincere and genuine. But they're not getting that much attention because these other girls are getting that attention. So
you just said a key word, lust.
Yeah.
I think what I just said, it stirs from lust.
Yeah.
Like, if I can say myself, before I am the man, before I was the man I am today, I was very lustful. So like, I would see somebody and I'd be like,
you want that. You
I
need
want
that.
I need that. Like, and I know, like, in my heart, I know I'm that. So I'm gonna go after it just because I'm lusting.
Whole time sleep on the air mattress and y'all ain't even know. It just
But,
because
like,
she look good on social media, you want that, you need
exactly.
that.
And that's why I say,
Like, calm
like,
down.
it comes from like now how I am now, because I'm in my career and I'm more settled down. Like, I want a regular girl.
Yeah.
Back then I'd be like, damn, like, okay, she bad, you know what I mean? I need that. And that is lust, one. And two, it comes from once you do get that, now it's like, I bagged her, cool this. I think it's like, it's just,
Now
it's a social media aspect.
Yeah.
let me ask y'all this: what makes somebody a regular girl? We already established that social media isn't real life. Okay, so if social media isn't real life, what deems somebody as regular?
For me,
Because I feel like I'm a regular girl. I'm normal. I'm a human. What makes somebody regular?
Like, I'm not comparing your page to Ari. Like, let's be honest. Like, a lot of these guys out here, we're looking at Des Dior. We're looking at Jada. We're looking at women like Ari. Like, if we're being honest, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I'm looking at y'all page, like, okay, y'all just graduated college. Like, y'all do y'all little hair in y'all apartment. Like, y'all keeping it real. Like, y'all are regular girls. Yeah. I'm not finna sit here and compare her to like, oh, you need to be looking like Jada. You need to be booty shorts and da-da-da-da. Like, that's not, you just a regular girl. Like, you going through life just like all of us. Like, we don't know how these women got here. Like, we don't know if it's their baby daddies that got them there. We don't know them that put in the work. Like, we don't know what they've been through to become such these celebrities compared to us, where it's like, we're really going through this everyday check to check, or, you know, trying to strive here to be to that level eventually. But men are, that goes back to him saying lustful. Like, just because we see these women and how they looking on the gram, they're not going to look at a regular girl like us, where we like, I'm tomboyish, like, you know what I'm saying? Whole time I could be a great woman, but they would want, I had a homeboy who said something to me, and he was like, men will want what you have, but they would want that from a woman they desire.
Yep.
So maybe that answers your question. Like,
Yes,
you can be the whole package, but you're not necessarily someone they desire. I could be the whole package. I'm probably just not a guy desire. They might want a little more petite. So that's what I'm saying. Like, men would want all of our attributes, but they want these women to have it. And sad to say, sometimes they don't be having it.
Yeah. And I want to say this, just speaking in the male's perspective, the reason why men steer away from I want to say steer away because I like regular women, but like, men steer away from regular women because they feel as if it's a double standard. They feel as if, like, and this is why I try to tell some of my boys, I'd be like, man, like, you ain't gotta have all the Cubans. I never owned a Cuban in my life. I never owned I drive a Nissan. Like, I don't got no muscle car. I'm a regular nigga. You feel me? You don't have to have all this to impress a woman, but like, they feel as if because the women that they desire, like you said, like the Jada,
they don't want Cheesecake Factory. They want to be at season 52 on the first date.
Yeah,
like
all of the things. But wait a minute. I was gonna say, wait. Go back to what you just said. You said something. I forgot it. You said
basically what I was saying is that most men, it's a double standard because most men will see that someone that they desire, they look at all the Cubans, the VVs, they look at all of that, and they be like, okay, if she looking at all that, well, I'm gonna look at this too. Like, I want my girl to have this, since all other women are being picky like this. I'm gonna be picky too.
Yeah, it go both ways for sure.
Yeah,
it goes both ways for sure.
It's a fucked up double standard.
Exactly. But what happens when the girl don't want a regular guy though? That, and I was also gonna say, damn, I forgot.
I feel like that's cool too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not bashing no one preference either, but don't call my phone because this guy that you thought was so that, you really realize he don't have nothing. He don't even have a credit to even sign a crib with you. Like, I think let's be honest here. Like, we're not going to sit here and just make it seem like we don't want top notch. Us women, sometimes we do want top notch, but you have to be realistic. It's so many niggas I know, they don't own a car. They don't have a credit card. They don't even have a $700 credit. Like, they don't have a degree. Like, these men ain't teachable. They just want to pop it every day, put it on the gram, pop it every day. Like, it's niggas out here taking vacations, but you saying, oh, like, you niggas back at home, y'all can't. Like, are you enjoying the vacation or are you in the vacation to just stunt on someone else? Like, that's not a regular guy to me. Like, us going on vacation, having a great time, like, looking at homes, like, thinking business-wise, like, okay, how can we put our money together? Like, that is realistic. Like, that is a realistic thing. Like, I feel like people who are already established need to be with people who's already established.
Yep.
Like, that's just need to be a thing. Like, if it's a nigga's at $100K a year, I'm not gonna be sitting here expecting him to do all this for me and I can't even do that in return because I'm not there yet. So
unless he just absolutely want to do that.
Yeah, and there's some men that do.
Just want a girl to just sit by them, but there are some people who want partnership. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, reality isn't so real, and it sucks to say. It's sad. And I say it all the time because I be looking at some people that go broke just to look good. But like you go
Facts.
home and you ain't got shit to your name.
$30,000 debt. Like, what are y'all doing?
Like it's embarrassing, but that's, like I said, social media driven. And it feels like, you know what I mean? Like I told y'all what the episode's gonna be about, but like it shifted. You know what I'm saying? Like we're talking about how everything is social media driven. And it's the truth. Like that's our society. And that's why I get on here and do my content because it comes all from here. Like people don't either have that high self-esteem or they not confident or they let their mistakes or their struggles dictate who they're gonna be. And if you going on your phone looking at all this shit, you seeing all the good, you ain't gonna know how to prepare for the bad. Everything comes with preparation. Like nobody take the preparation shit serious, and that's why we have what we have. Like, of course, a lot of people like to go pop it on the ground, you know what I mean, but they don't know how to stay down. Like I know a lot of people to this day, especially a lot of women, they rather have a low key dude that'll pop out randomly and then go back into the shell. But most niggas think they gotta pop it every single day.
Yeah.
And then end up back at the drawing board.
You wasting money. You just it's yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean that's why I say like it's sad.
It's levels, it's seasons. If you see somebody popping it, that may be because they stayed down, they did the work. Sometimes somebody faking they popping it. You never know, but to each his own.
Yeah, for sure. And one question I want to ask y'all is when it comes down to putting your all into like y'all work, because we're starting to get to the end of the episode, what are you, because I got a saying like a lot of people, and it's gonna sound crazy, but it's like a metaphor. Your heart don't work 7 days a week. If you think about it, your heart don't work 7 days a week. Some days you're gonna be sad, some days you're gonna be, mad, some days you're going to rest. How do y'all keep going knowing that your heart don't work 7 days a week?
I don't have children, but I say my siblings. Like, I think my siblings are big. I literally was just talking about it the other day, like, what kind of pushed me to keep being a good person. Because we all see how I am on social media. Like, I'm a probably the best big sister, let them tell it. But I don't even be caring about that because it's like the way they are is what molds me to keep going. Like, just off how they move and how they treat their friends and how they treat people is what pushes me. Like, I work, my sisters, when they turned 16, that was a big thing for them. Like, oh, I want to have my own job. Like, I pushed myself to be that type of woman that just always makes it happen so that they know, like, if a man here today or he not tomorrow, like, you should still be able to have everything. Like, your work ethic is everything. No one could take that from you. Like, your drive, no one could take that from you. And that goes back to even the shedding the light thing, like, dimming my light. Like, I feel like all that plays a role. Like, if you know what you're trying to conquer and what you're trying to complete, like, no one should be able to come in between that. Especially if your faith is the size of a mustard seed. Like, there's no way that I can't make this happen. Like, even on the days where you might be showing up 20%, like we said, like, the next day, we always have tomorrow. Like, I'm still going to turn around and put 110% the next day. Like, yeah. So my siblings most definitely is a big reminder for me to keep pushing and being a great role model and setting that standard for them, yeah.
I think for me, a reminder for me is just always where I come from. Like, sometimes when I go to my grandma's house, my grandma's still standing in it, and sometimes I genuinely don't like going back. But when I do go back and I visit her, it just reminds me I need to go home. I need to work harder because it's kind of like also encouraging to see where I've come so far. Like how I just grew up in the same house and where I am now. But I think my family, because I'm somebody, I love to show people a good time. I love for my family to be taken care of. I necessarily don't like to see people going through anything hard, which especially my family. Like I always said, once I get to a certain level where I want to be able to give back to my mom. And so for me, I always resort back to where I came from. Like I go back, and some people, they go back for the fun of it, or whatever the case may be. Me, it's just really to remind me. It helps me in a way, and it also encourages me, because it's like, look where you come and you still got a minute to go. So for me, it's my family.
Yeah, but saying like it's my family, but also it's that little girl in me. Like ever since I was a little girl, I knew exactly who I wanted to be, and I always had that little vision. So I always go back to that. Like it's just that little girl in me. Like I got things to do. I'm making her proud. Like she's happy, but still got a ways to go. But also family. Like I have examples of who I don't want to be like. And I'd be like, damn, I just can't be like you. Like, that's horrible. I love you down, but like, no. And I have people who in my life that I admire, and I'd be like, cool, I love attributes that you possess. But at the end of the day, you look at life in totality and you see people throw their life away, fuck their life over, drinking, smoking, just doing just drugs, just kids, just fucking life over. And you that's a reminder. Like I don't want to be nothing like that. Like that's my biggest fear in life, being exactly what I don't want to be. So I just get up every day and do the work. And I got this Bible verse tatted on me: walk by faith, not by sight. Because it really don't matter what you seeing. Like you just gotta keep going, just knowing that if I got God, how could I lose? Like that's just that. But like, yeah.
And like piggying back off of what you were saying, like for me, it's necessarily to that looking at, I'm very goal driven, like you said. And so I love to be the first in my family. Like I was the first gen college grad. And for me,
Like it.
it's breaking those curses. It's like, I know that's like a cliche saying, but
That's
genuinely, when you
real.
are tired
If
of the
yeah.
same
Shit.
thing,
Yes.
You got to be the one to
you
change
gotta
it.
be the
You
one to
gotta be
change it. And so for me, that's my position. I've done a lot, like, and even helping my grandma. My grandma's so old school. Like I never forget. I was traveling, at 18, by myself, with friends and stuff. But back then, my grandma like passport, like where you going? What you mean? Like they didn't know nothing about that. Like how to get my first passport. Like I had to figure that out on my own. And so just helping them get out of that area. Even like where I live now, my grandma was like, oh my God, like, why are you all the way out here? And I'm like helping her understand it's bigger than Rich Lights. Like, it's bigger than
I'm from the heights too. It's definitely bigger than the heights.
it's bigger than the Heights. Even with just little things like taking them to different restaurants, it get bigger than Applebee's. Okay, it get bigger than Red Lobster. Like I'm tired.
It's always more to life.
Yeah.
That's why I try to tell people like you can outgrow everything that you were raised in. Like you don't have to go back to what the traits that you were given.
Yeah, like
You can use those traits and make something more from it. You feel me? Like, and that's why I'm an advocate of mental health and growth, because if you can't have it up here, you won't have it here. You feel me? Like it's all connected. So I think this the time why I asked y'all, because I told y'all before we started, we all got our truths that we want to share. So what's two truths y'all feel like people need to hear and people need
I
to?
ain't going first. I
go first because I really have one. This is my main one. Be yourself. And I know that's a very generalized saying, but the reason why I say be yourself because it's harder to be anything but yourself. I think when people try to put on so bad, it comes to the point where you're constantly trying damaging your mental health, trying to keep up an image. You get what I'm saying? So I think for me, I think that was like the realest piece of advice that I've heard was to be myself. And, when somebody tell me that, I was like, okay, girl, I am. But really be yourself, because I think you can really damage your mental health trying to live up to certain things. And I think for me, authenticity it will get you far. Being very authentic will get you far. And I think honestly, like Ruthy said, I think me being me is what got me where I am. Like I'm not the richest in the world, nor am I the poorest, but I'm me and I'm taking it day by day. And literally that saying where it say, I'm my own competition. It's me versus me. It's literally me versus me because I'm true with myself and I'm real with myself. If I can't do that, I can't do it. And if I can, I can. And I think that's something people need to realize.
The first thing I would say is be where your feet are. I think people feel like we have to have it all put together. And I think a big thing for me is be where my feet are. Like, enjoy where I am currently. Like, I'm never going to be 25 again. Like, I need to enjoy where I am and just taking it day by day. Yeah, we're always striving to be better, but we can't control things that we haven't seen or that we can't control. So I think being where your feet are is one. And then two, women need to take their health more serious. I think we're so big on the STDs and STIs, but I think being 25, being diagnosed with PCOS at 23, now knowing, like, you know, it's not as easy to have children as everyone else, and never thinking that that would ever be my situation. I think, you know, take your health serious, like run a full lab. Like if you go to your gynecologist, run a full lab for everything. Like check your ovaries, like, you know, check your hemoglobin, do all of that stuff. Check your sugar level, like take your health more serious, because a lot of stress we put on as ourselves as women, like I said, being so goal driven and wanting to be that independent, that's also putting our bodies in survival mode where it's working overtime because we're putting so much stress on ourselves that we're not even supposed to be enduring at the end of the day. That can F up our life now as trying to start families and stuff. So that would just be my two biggest takeaways. Like, be where your feet are and just take care of your health as a woman.
Believe in something. I don't care what it is. I believe in God, but believe in something. It will get you far. And I will also just say, like, what would I tell somebody right now?
Not you waited last and you don't forgot.
I was just
I'm
gonna
gonna give y'all
say,
one more time. Hold on.
I can just honestly say too, like one I just thought of is also I can't stand seeing people that say they want all this stuff but don't work or don't put in no work. Like that's saying that says faith without works is dead. That's so real. You can't want something and don't change your approach on how you're trying to achieve it or trying to approach it, period. Like stuff just don't fall out the sky. So sometimes when I see, for example, like you say, the Jadas and Aries, we don't know the long nights, the times where there was no sleep to get to that point. And so like, yeah, you want this lifestyle, but when your job offer overtime, you going home or you clocking out early, or you know when a client texts you, oh, I don't feel like doing you today. Like you're not applying yourself to the full potential. And so my thing is like great work equal great results, and you can't get that half-ass. Like you just can't.
I'm gonna just say what we've been saying this whole episode. Like, just stay true to yourself. Like, when you stay true to you, it's gonna always be up. It's gonna go up. It's gonna forever be up. But I will also say, nah, bro, I forgot, y'all. I don't know. Like, stay true to
Okay.
yourself.
It's
Keep
all
God first. Do your thing. Oh no, because this is really speaking to me. No, my current era. Don't allow people to, what's the word, when somebody put their own stuff on you, like
Project.
don't let nobody project on you. Do your thing. You know what you want to do. If you want different, you got to do different. Do your own thing. It's okay to listen to wisdom, but learn how to tune in, tune out, and take what you need and keep it pushing. Don't let nobody project on you. Do what you got to do for you. That's it.
For sure. All right, y'all. That concludes the episode of Tread Truths. Y'all know how I am with the intro, well, with the outro. Gone.
Gone.
Gone. Gone.